Jordan, can you tell me a little bit about your company, what you're doing, your role in the company, etc.?
Absolutely, Rara. Firstly, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Myself, I'm Jordan Abraham. I'm the co-founder and the chief growth officer with Scribe Minds and Media. What we do is we are a B2B conference organizer. We host international conferences, trade shows, roundtables, gala dinners, cocktail evenings, along with my co-founder, Pradesh Girishan, who's my partner and co-founder. So we came up with this idea sometime back amid the pandemic COVID-19, when most of the conference companies were shutting shop because of no public gathering, no handshakes, no exchange of business cards, right? So we've been passionate about events and conferences for close to 12 years individually before we came up with our own brand called Scribe Minds and Media, because these days the market is getting so challenging that everybody can attend a conference, everybody can walk down to an event, everybody can get into a trade show or an exhibition, right? End of the day, what happens is they just come back with a huge stack of business cards, not really having the right opportunity to identify the right decision maker or the person that they would want to meet or network with, right? So Scribe Minds and Media as a platform, we create or bridge the gap between identifying the right prospect and helping them connect with the right decision makers, which could shorten the sales cycle of an organization, shorten the process of the sales team going after identifying a decision maker, and shorten the decision-making unit or decision-making capabilities of a brand to help them connect with the right audience in terms of winning the right amount of sales and businesses for their organization.
And what makes you unique? I mean, it feels like there are so many solutions that help to do exactly the same, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, the most important USPs right from day one that we launched is we believe as a brand that delivery is the key,
Okay.
right? I think these days conferences are getting so monotonous that everybody can, just get out into the market and hold a conference today, right? But how many of those brands really focus on delivering what is committed is what most of the companies are looking forward for in today's world, right? So our strategy very clearly is to focus on delivery and at the same time, keep our clients happy and focus on client retention, right? So far, over the last 4 years of our business operations across Southeast Asia, India, Middle East, and Africa, we have a retention ratio of close to 90%, which means we've managed to retain at least 90% of the clients that we already work with because they keep coming back to us for two reasons. One is they're happy with the kind of quality of the decision makers that we're helping them to connect or meet with. Two, they're happy because we keep up to the promises that we want to deliver to the amount of expectations that they have. So when you focus on these 2 pointers, I think the transparency of business becomes easier and it's more trustworthy when it comes to clients to put your trust and put your money on you. I think that is more important in terms of today's market situation on how the entire conference industry is focusing on.
How about, so because we are a podcast studio, right? And because we're also talking a lot to media people, I've got a question. So what do you think, what role does visibility play in the current, amount of solutions, amount of products, decision makers, people who need to meet decision makers? So what role does visibility play in this whole process?
Wonderful. Absolutely. I think it's a good question and thank you for that. I think today's market is so competitive and visibility is something that every brand is competing out in the market, right? Because you might have a fantastic product, you might have a fantastic solution that you can give to your customer, right? But if you do not have the right amount of visibility in the market, I think that is probably giving you an opportunity to go lower on your sales, go lower on your expectations in terms of closures, or probably go lower in your brand as well, right? So I think there are different ways on how companies today have a platform or a medium to focus on visibility, right? Be it content creation, be it podcast, be it online videos. YouTube as a brand is giving a lot of opportunities for content creation. I think it's important that brands utilize these opportunities that is available in the market in terms of spreading the news, spreading their content, giving the right amount of content that brands are currently looking forward for. Because when you have these things in place, visibility automatically comes into the picture, right? When you have a good content, when you have a good product, and when you have good amount of ways on marketing and branding those product, you're already completing the taglines or the tick boxes that is required for visibility, right? And I think podcast or video content creation and online content creation does play a vital role when it comes to such visibilities. And I think this is where market is currently moving towards. Because back in those days when I think your parents or my parents were there, it was more of newspaper ads, it was more of radios, it was a little bit of a lesser television, right? We are in a century where everything is coming at the comfort of our mobile phones, right? Anything we want to do is right on on our mobiles, be it content in terms of Instagrams, your Facebooks, your YouTubes, your ads, all kinds of networking opportunities on content is available within the fingertips of your palm, right? So that's how the world has evolved, and I think that goes hand in hand with the amount of visibility that we can talk about when it comes to this market.
So, and how do you yourself consume probably podcasts or video content?
Well, that's a good question because I myself am a podcaster, right? I had a passion for always becoming a voiceover artist back then during my school days when I was a child. But when I became an adult, and I think I got more carried away on dreams and visions of becoming an entrepreneur. So I always wanted to share my story, share my difficulties that I've gone through in the past through my voice, and I started something called Life Inspires with Jason as a podcast during COVID because I had nothing to do. But by the time I started, and I also found my company along with my partner Scribe Minds, so we just got carried away with my business. But yeah, I think podcast is definitely playing a important role in my life because I want to share my stories, my struggles, my difficulties, because I was once upon a time washing 10 cars, 5 cars in a day. I was delivering newspapers 10 years back. When I was becoming an entrepreneur, I failed miserably. I was beaten, insulted, mocked, whatnot you can call it. 10 years fast forward, today I have a brand for myself along with my co-founder. We do media, we do podcasting, we do content creation, we do conferences, trade shows, exhibitions. We host our own media channels. It's called Big Box Media Company. So life can give you good and bad. And I think when it gives you bad, it's about how you take it, digest it internally, turn the bad or turn the negativity into positivity, and how you come up into flying colors is more important in life. And I think that's what life is all about. And I think that's what I wanted to convey to the audiences and convey to the world. Keep believing in yourself, keep trusting yourself, never give up. Today you might be bad, tomorrow you might be in an even more bad situation, but day after tomorrow you're going to be shining bright and beautiful as the star.
So, but do you think podcasting is exactly the format and probably the only format that allows you to convey stories like that and messages like that?
I think podcast definitely does because more than video and more than content, podcasting is now becoming the next trend, right? Podcast in the US is massive. And everybody is so fascinated about podcasting and people want to listen to podcasters.
Why do you think people are so very much hooked on the podcasts?
I think it gives them an opportunity to listen to what they love, right? And I think listening when you're depressed, listening when you're upset, just imagine you're super upset and depressed and disappointed, holding a cup of coffee in your hand, closing your eyes, listening to your favorite podcaster talking about his life stories, success stories, inspiring stories. For business people or entrepreneurs, going to be business podcasters related on how they can come up, in terms of their businesses, how they can develop their product. I think listening plays a vital, important role these days than what you see, right? It's all about like what you see and see what you like.
Are you using podcasting as a marketing tool for your brand?
Well, to be very honest, like I said, I myself am a podcaster, and I'm fascinated to get it introduced to our brand. I've already set up a team for my media brand who is on the verge of doing their podcast. We just started off by doing a couple of video casts right now. So the next big thing that we want to do is podcasting, especially for retailers, e-commerce, digital and tech leaders, cybersecurity professionals. So these are the major leaders that we want to target.
Yeah. So, do you feel that there's a huge potential, or maybe a small potential, in creating content in the form of the video podcasting or audio podcasting, implementing advertising? Do you see the potential there?
Absolutely, there is a lot of potential, and I think most of the brands have already witnessed the results that is giving, that's been given by video podcasting or even the podcasting for the matter, right? Because these days, any brand that you take, be it a big brand like TikTok or be it a big brand like Facebook, right? They create such platforms for you to promote and create content, right? So it's not necessary that you need to only stick on to podcasts, because of course there are a certain set of people who believe that videocast is giving them a lot of returns when it comes to their business opportunities. Especially if you talk about a retail brand, for example, or a cosmetic brand. There are a lot of companies, especially in Southeast Asia. We do a lot of events in Southeast Asia. There are a lot of companies who pay individuals or influencers to do video content creation either through broadcast or to video podcasts. So this definitely got a huge amount of potential, and I think Middle East is also slowly catching up to the trend, and the trend is moving towards podcasting and towards videocasting, and that's where the market is currently heading to right now.
I get it. Yeah. So what would be the format of the advertising, let's say, that you would be able to consume without skipping?
I think today, if you ask me, we're all more fascinated with Instagram. I think whenever we have some amount of free time, we're always on Instagram Reels. So Instagram Reels is the biggest eye-catching thing that maybe I wouldn't skip and probably still continue to, scrolling my phone all the time. Probably sometimes I don't even realize that it's almost 30 minutes or 45 minutes to an hour. I've just been wasting and looking at the videos that is just going on in Instagram. Reels are so attractive today. Reels are so addictive these days. And I don't know, it's not very easy for all of us to get out of those reels. But again, it's good for the business, and it's good for us as consumers. But I think too much of time is also waste of time.
That's right. So that's why I'm always chasing the great insights versus just content. Because
Absolutely.
we've got so much content, and I strongly believe that we do not need more content. We deserve better content,
Amazing,
right?
amazing.
So thank you very much for stopping by our pop-up studio. And we're at Seamless, and have the best of luck
Thank you.
connecting and networking and looking for
Amazing,
the opportunities for your business.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lara. Thank you for hosting me, and thank you, the entire team. I wish you all the best, and we look forward for many more collaborations like this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.